More than likely you've heard about this place. More than likely you've seen images of this place from the comforts of your home at a distance. It is a place where everyone struggles to survive. It is a city within a city. Within its 54 blocks, thousands and thousands of people call this place home. For some, it is temporary. For others, a lifetime. Skid Row, Los Angeles. I came here to make a change. Instead, it changed me.
I'm actually living on Skid Row for 30 days. Really? Yes, sir.
Tired, worn out, no sleep.
Seen a lot go on, a lot of killings, a lot of friends get killed on Skid Row.
I mean, it could be your grandmother, it could be your grandfather, it could be your sister, your brother.
Hey, I'm Trent. I'm an artist, and I'm heading to Los Angeles to live on Skid Row for 30 days. Been a freelance artist for almost 25 years, and done a lot of other things in between. I'm just a man, good old country boy from Louisiana. I hope to incite change in how we treat one another, to give people food for thought, something to think about. That homelessness is a situation that almost any one of us could find ourselves in. And we should treat one another a little differently, a little better. I'm getting ready to spend an epic birthday on Skid Row, number 44. Most people celebrate January 1st, of course, New Year. I celebrate February 19th, my birthday, as my new year. When I evoke change in my life, resolutions, if you will, it starts on my birthday. The whole world's just whizzing by already. Heart's pounding, here just throbbing in my brain. And I'm walking through like just numb because this reality set in that this is it. 30 days, you're not even day one yet. As I'm topping the escalator, and I wonder, what have I gotten myself into at this point?
I was dropped off at Pershing Square on the subway, and I was told by an officer to walk 10 blocks east, but he truly advised against me staying in that area and pointed me to a completely different area. You know, this isn't a documentary about the outskirts of Skid Row, it's about being in the middle of it.
It's a true human wasteland. I don't know any other way to describe it. It's a place where humans are discarded. I mean, the smells, it's urine, feces. It's totally unbelievable. It's something I'm not prepared for.
I met a gentleman, his name is Henry, staying in this tent right here. And he's allowing me to stay in front of him and sleep tonight. And I'll get up tomorrow during the day and check out the city and the environment during the daytime and in the light, and I'll be able to, you know, make a better assessment as to where I am and where I need to be.
So I'll see you in the morning, Mr. Henry. All right, good night.
Well, day one, living on the streets of Skid Row. I've met a gentleman. He's allowed me to stay in front of his tent tonight for a little safety, and gonna see what we can do about getting a little shut-eye, which I don't anticipate any of that anytime soon.
It's 1 a.m. I'm really having a rough time with the sleep situation, of course. No comfy bed, no pillow for my head, chilly, loud, stinky, a little scary.
It's a little past 4 a.m. and I have yet to get any sleep. Wrapped up in a little paint towel that I have, just kind of biding my time till the sun comes up, quite frankly. This is a very, very early day 2. It's a little after 5 a.m. So anyway, trying to find a meal. I was told that one of the missions was serving breakfast, so I am definitely far from starving, but I am a little hungry.
Inside the LA mission, you have to assemble for a service before breakfast in the morning. Skid Row is completely full of activity on so many levels. All your senses are heightened on every single level that you can imagine. You hear the sounds, the traffic, the people, the yells, the screams, the movement. It's constant buzz. It wears out your senses.
Just like living in a wasteland, trash and piss and crap everywhere.
Sights that you should never see, things that you should never see. People living and sleeping. The areas reek, they smell of death. I can't believe that the place is even allowed to exist, quite frankly. There was a news article about Skid Row and the homeless issue, and there was a gentleman who was featured there. His name's Christopher Mack, and he worked in a medical facility on Skid Row that assisted the homeless to get medical care. And I kept that article and I said, I've got to meet this man. I found Christopher Mack and various other community leaders of Skid Row saging the community. Something they do once a year, every February during Black History Month. It's a blessing of the community. It's something that's beautiful to me to watch and be a part of. I have never in my life been a part of anything that is so pure.
The thing about the saging, and we walk through the community, not only to honor those that have fallen for that year, but those that have been on Skid Row. And a lot of times people think of homelessness as a phenomenon. It's a byproduct, it's a side effect, it's something that occurs because of something else not working.
As we look upon this place, we're here in the belly of the beast. We're within the Skid Row city limits. Population of too many hurting people.
It's hard to participate when you've been wounded or disappointed so much in life. But then once you start to participate, once you start to care for others, something just seems to happen to the individual. He seems to find a new avenue and a new footing, and he seems to, have a little bit more love and joy and peace in his life.
Whenever one door closes, I pray that one more opens. May you never take one single breath for granted. Hello, Mama. Hello, Papa.
Hey, everybody.
What's
back
up,
home
my
in
sister,
Louisiana.
my brother?
Hello, the
Oh,
world.
Louisiana.
Yeah,
Right
in the house. My new friend,
Linda.
Linda. Gotta show her some love. She's showing me love.
God bless you. Mm.
My girl, Linda.
God bless you.
Brother's getting some fresh socks right here. What's your name, ma'am?
Yvonne.
Yvonne. And what are you doing on the streets with these fresh
We're
socks?
helping people that need help.
I love it. And as bad as I really needed them, because I have one pair and they're a little crusty and stinky right now, I had to hook my sister up She gave me a hug and a kiss. It was worth it. Yeah! Woo! Yeah, make that change. Man, I loved it. That was awesome. Can I give you a kiss?
Yes, you can.
Showing some love. Day 5, another morning in paradise. Every morning I walk east toward the sun. Why? Because it's the only light in this darkness. And it's a place where I go to meditate, pray, kind of be out of the path of all the destruction and all the negativity and everything that's going on here. So I've got to find little quiet spots to keep my mind right. When I embarked on this journey, one thing that really pissed me off was what I perceived as the treatment of our vets.
I've been homeless since 2008, and I've gotten little to no help from the Veterans Administration. I'm eligible for a thing called VASH. They told me I hadn't been homeless long enough.
You know, or you read anything that says, you know, veterans are homeless, it pisses you off, or it should.
Veterans as a group have the highest suicide rate of any group in this country.
3rd Marine Division. Out of Fremont High School in 1972. I enlisted in the Marines right after graduation. I went to boot camp, MCRD San Diego, Camp Pendleton. 9 months later, I was in Vietnam. I served in the Army. I'm suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder and Agent Orange.
You know, we shouldn't send people to war, whether they volunteer or not, come back home and turn our backs to them.
3rd Marine Division. First in, last out.
First in, last
First
out.
in, last out.
Hoorah, right?
Yes, sir. That's right. Semper Fidelis.
Semper Fidelis.
Always faithful.
Man, God bless you, man.
Sure.
Thank you for your service,
It's
man.
an honor to serve.
Ain't looking for love, just wanna live. Me and the brothers on the bridge.
The rain is beginning to fall on Skid Row, a day that I was hoping not to see.
Just makes everything worse. People get crammed into the shelters, the lobbies, tensions run high. Not a good day to be homeless.
It's wet, it's miserable. A lot of people are coming in off the streets to stay indoors. I'm one of them, that's for sure. Definitely not pushing anyone out of the bed. There's plenty of beds, plenty of availability. I arrived at the shelter first night, got a bed ticket, as they call it, place to sleep, and they issue these pajamas, because they don't let you sleep in your own clothes. My sexy PJs. Snoring, farting, intercoms, cell phones. All that and then some. Even the hardcore that are living out every day in their tents find refuge. There are places that they find refuge, not just the shelters. This even library is a big part of that refuge. Not only is it bad outside weather-wise, it's bad inside because you got all these people crammed in the buildings and you get all these personalities together. You know that doesn't always work. It makes things worse.
Escorting this person out of the library, he was being very disruptive, yelling, screaming, cussing.
The rain and the bad weather just makes the environment a lot worse in all levels.
My first true, real threat today, one of the shelters, I was sitting on a bench and the guy wanted to kind of bully people around, and I've been taking it, kind of getting tired of taking it. So I stood up to the dude and just told him, you know, move a backpack and you can have a seat. And he went into threatening to kick my ass, stabbing me and everything in the whole gamut. Starting to run into the face-to-face elements of danger, and definitely trying to avoid this individual, and you know, it's part of choosing your battles. And then you get into a catch-22. The mission has a policy: no threats, no humiliation, none of that. And if a threat is made, to report it, and those person or persons would be removed from the premises. Well, of course, if I said anything, then I'd be a snitch, and it would be worse. So, you know, they can protect you behind the gates to a certain degree, but they can't protect you at all once you get beyond the gates. Currently, everything on my body is soaking wet. My clothes, my socks, my shoes, my jeans, everything. Trying to dry everything out. That's a Skid Row clothesline. Woke up this morning with a sore throat and feeling sick. So that's one of my fears, is getting sick while I'm here. 20 days to go, or 19 to go. And you know, you share a bunk room with 100 men and eat your meals with a bunch of people that are coughing and sneezing and all that. So it was somewhat inevitable.
Just makes everything harder on you when you don't have, you know, everyone in your normal everyday life. Once again, you get to take medicine and you get to go to the doctor and get yourself taken care of, but you have to kind of struggle through it moment by moment, day by day.
I have to step a handful of blocks off the middle and the stench of the sidewalks to brush my teeth every day. I mean, that's the only thing I can do to feel somewhat human. One thing I've noticed, of course, down here is that everyone, I've said it before, says good morning, no matter how bad their night was, binging on crack and drugs and alcohol, waking up in a urine and fecal matter environment. But they all like hearing the word, good morning, sir, how are you this day? Good. They like hearing good morning. They like being acknowledged as human. You know what I'm saying? Good, bad, ugly, whatever they're going through, they're human too. And I can't express the power of acknowledging that, either with a smile or just uttering some words. Good morning. This must be Caring is Sharing Saturday, because almost every corner you go to, someone's passing out food right now. Sandwich builders. There are some people doing some good things on Skid Row.
Well, they haven't run us off. We've been doing this for almost 10 years.
Awesome.
And we've fed tens of thousands of homeless, and it's a way of connecting our community to this community. When I come down here and deliver, the one thing that I notice is this is a real vibrant community.
Hi, I'm Paula. Nice to meet you. Have a good day.
Free sandwich on the streets. This is a good example of some of the unappreciation for what is given to the people down here. I find it appalling to me that some get fed and I've seen them throw plates of food on the ground, just immediately throw them on the ground, what they don't want to eat. This is just discarded. That's it, like it's nothing. Dude just got through pulling that pizza out of the garbage can. pray to God I never get that hungry. I mean, it really, really breaks my heart. Couldn't help myself this morning. I had to walk the Arts District, which is actually 2 blocks away from the official borders of Skid Row.
My greatest discovery since I've been here has been an arts facility in Skid Row.
Out there, the war zone. In here, welcome to the peace zone. One of my favorite places on Skid Row, period, hands down.
And LAM Community is an organization here in the Skid Row community that provides housing and services for LA's most vulnerable individuals, namely adults living with various degrees of mental illness. The arts are an essential part of a person's healthy social life, and that is especially important in a place where individuals are very often dehumanized.
I'm very thrilled to know that they have at least one facility like this down here.
Hey, I'm Senior Lead Officer Dion Joseph, LAPD Central Division. Been working Skid Row for about 17 years of my career. Basically, I'm in charge for the safety and quality of life of the people who live in my area, which is like Spring Street to San Pedro, 3rd Street to 7th Street, and also just trying to create an environment where the influence of the service providers can be stronger than that of the criminal element. I didn't want to be an LAPD officer at first. You know, like every young African American, I was indoctrinated to hate the police until I saw the other side. And it's been the best gig. I don't know, when I came to Skid Row, I didn't want to be here either, but I just felt like it was a calling. After being here for about 2 months, I realized I knew these people based on my upbringing. You know, I had a mom who raised 41 foster children. You know, I was around for 17 of them. Some were homeless, some were raped, some were crack babies. And people my parents helped. My mom used to feed the homeless all the time. So when I got here after about 2 months, getting over the shock, I realized I was home. You know, I needed to be here.
Public relations.
Yeah, but I'm a hell of a crime fighter too.
Yeah, there you go. Small little ruckus here on San Pedro. Some people were arguing outside of one of the missions. So of course security called police. I'll have to give it to the police. They're very respectful so far that I've seen. They're doing their jobs the best they can, all things considered. But you see on the news and papers that the city of LA, the police are tearing down their tents every day and being rude and mean and kicking them off the streets. And they really don't make them tear down their tents. They're up 24/7. 24/7, they don't tear them down. So I really thought it was important to clarify that, because one thing that I read was that they're bullying these people off the streets every day, and quite frankly they allow them to live right where they are every day. Nothing changes.
Today I'm spitting up blood, so on top of all my fatigue and wear and tear, aches, whatever it is, flu, whatever I've got going on, keeps getting a little worse.
I've been picking these up and getting them off the streets. Well, just when I thought I'd seen the last one today, I think I've set an all-time record. Exposed needles, everything. Found this right by the police department off of Central. Needle up. Well, nothing like having somebody just whip their pecker out and piss on a wall 4 feet from you. I do need to add, it is very tough. This is the second time that I've been handing a meal on the streets. It's very tough to eat these meals because of the stench of urine and feces. I mean, it's hardcore. Whoa! For real. Well, that's what we call it, Skid Row bathroom. You know it's bad when you gotta wear a hazmat suit to clean the streets. Woo!
Definitely gotten real sick today. It's been a real rough day. My sleep has been completely deprived. I I can see how if you come out here with a little sanity, that you can slowly lose it. It wears and tears your body, your mind, your heart, your soul, everything down. Doesn't look like it's been urinated on yet. Cardboard, it's quite the commodity. I mean, some of these guys and gals build their little elaborate homes, and some just use it to separate the sidewalk from their skin. I mean, in all honesty, I'm not really into like building something over my head and I can't really see things around me. So I like building me a little sitting area, laying area of sorts. So that's really all I'm gonna do tonight. Moving on up. Got me a little extra cardboard tonight. Like I said, I really don't like being covered up with it where I can't see. They do say people, kids particularly, come by and scratch graffiti on the tents and the boxes and stuff like that, as you can see on Mr. Henry's tent. So I'd rather just sleep with my head up. Definitely progressively getting worse as far as my illness and fatigue and you know, mental state of mind, I'm sure. This is my sleeping position. Back against this wall, eyes out. You know, one eye open for sure. Ears perked. All senses full steam ahead. And you take little naps in between the interruptions.
Get off of me, man. Yeah. What's up, white boy?
Had to play that off. Caught me with my camera, and I don't need him coming back in the middle of the night thumping me on my head. So I'm just going to walk off, and when he leaves my little area, I'll come back and bed down. The stealing and all that happens at night, you know, when people are asleep, they're vulnerable. Through piss and hell and drugs, and you got to deal with the rats and everything down here. I mean, this is truly a cesspool. I mean, there ain't no other way to describe it. Got somebody following me right now, so let me get out of Dodge.
I slept mostly by the LA Mission. That seems to be the safest place.
They found the guy at the LA Mission in a van. He had been there for 7 days.
It's real violent. It's been real violent lately.
That was the first time I ever seen a dead body after 7 days. He was all swollen and split open.
I lived on Skid Row for 3 months.
I slept on the streets in a cardboard box for 25 years. All you do is walk over tents and cardboard boxes.
And as far as not seeing a lot of good there is a lot of good there. But yeah, there's a lot of scary, unstable, a lot of mental illness, a lot of people that are unstable, violent, kind of ticking time bombs.
Seen a man get burned alive. Gasoline threw on him in a lighter and he burned up alive. I seen a man get his head cut off. Seen a lady's head off and they set her up against the mission.
I think that you see things that you shouldn't have to see in a lifetime, let alone in one night.
I got tired because I used and I drank as well. After that, I decided I wanted housing. Today, I live in the downtown women's center, and I've been there 3 years. You know, they helped me out with everything. I had breast cancer and in third stage, And today I'm a breast cancer survivor.
At first I offered poems for money, which was enough money to allow me to get supplies in order to make jewelry, because that's a trade that I have. And so then I made jewelry, and I'd come off of Skid Row and sell it, anywhere I could on the streets, which was enough to get into low-income housing.
So now you got a roof over your head.
And I'm doing great.
And you're living in a bed, not on the sidewalk. And the community loves you.
Oh, yeah.
And people look after you. And you know what? You look after other people, too.
Yeah, I do.
Well, I'm not gonna go on no mission.
You're not?
No.
Why don't you do that?
Because there's too many people getting bed bugs there.
Bed bugs and lice and all that?
Yeah.
The hardest thing for me to deal with while I'm down here is not being able to help people. Because you see people that need it. And it's not in my nature to just walk by. It's not in my nature to turn a blind eye. But I'm having to realize I can't help everyone, and I sure can't help them immediately. And the hardest thing that I have witnessed so far are the elderly and the handicapped just fighting for daily life and barely making it. Because I see the face of my mother, my grandfathers, my family members in those faces.
A.m. I know this isn't Buffalo, but it sure is cold here. So, got very, very little sleep. Streets are definitely starting to come to life. It's what I call the walkers, the zombies. The crackheads been up all night, and everybody else is starting to get up. No, I just want to lay it all out there, make it all perfectly clear, my observations. You have what I call the lifers. You have people that are living on this system in every way possible. They have their cheap housing or no housing at all by living in a tent. They receive EBT. They receive government relief. They receive Social Security. They receive all other kinds of subsidies. And they make it happen for them. They make it work. And believe it or not, I won't use the word happy, but they're obviously content with that arrangement. And then you have, plenty that have had just life issues happen. You lose a job and you can't afford housing, and you end up on a place like this, trying to figure it out, at least for a little bit.
On Sundays, a lot of the missions are closed during the day, and we rely on the street ministers to take care of the people of Skid Row. They usually preach a sermon and then offer food for anyone that's here to accept the food until they run out.
Good morning, Skid Row! So what's the good morning about it? What's the good morning about it, preacher?
Well, I'm not really sure what's going on. Mr. Henry's tent's not here. He's been living on this corner now for quite some time. I can't even remember how long. I mean, almost a year. So I don't know if he got run off or what the deal is. So anyway, it's a solo gig for me. I had to get some new cardboard. Definitely miss his tent being right here at my head. Kind of diverted traffic around me a little bit more. So obviously more exposed. So all I can do is try to get some sleep, because it'll be a real crappy day tomorrow if I don't get any sleep at all. Still averaging about 2 hours, give or take, you know, a little 10-minute nap here, a little 10-minute nap there. So, wherever you are, Mr. Henry, I hope you're all right. Chilly, 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 chilly night. Got zero sleep because my bones are just chilled. Definitely feeling the wear and tear on my mind as much as my body at this point. You can tell when I have conversations that I'm not as articulate as I can be or have been or normally am. Definitely feel myself withdrawing from society in my own way. I feel bad about myself. Filthy. I'm filthy. Dirty. Hair's dirty. My fingernails are dirty. Every inch of my body's filthy. So that is wearing me out mentally. Don't want to be around people. I can see the stares, and I've heard a few comments when I'm around people that, you know, the smells. So it's been tough.
I was walking through the streets, and a little girl looked up at me and grabbed her mother frighteningly, pointed at me and said, "Look, Mommy, I'm a monster." I just will never forget the look on her face and how scared she was. The transformation had occurred that in my heart, I knew I wasn't a monster. But it obviously bothers me now to even have that child think of me that way.
Do not pass me by.
Well, I have a new neighbor. You're never really alone on Skid Row, so get ready to make the best of it right here. Mr. Henry's not here. I'm not sure what's up with that, but that's my little spot. Well, extremely busy night on my little corner here. Very scared. A lot of activity. It's a little shouting and a little bit of a fight across the street on the other corner a few minutes ago. Last night. Pretty much the same old thing out here. It's me, roaches, rats, hood rats, drug heads, drunks, drug dealers, prostitutes, cars, all that. Skid Row. Good night, y'all. Skid Row, day 30. Nothing's changed. 30 days I've been here. Thankful I don't have to stay another 30. Tough gig. Probably the main thing that just wrenches my heart, the elderly and the mentally ill that are truly discarded, thrown to the curb like trash. The ones who don't speak up for themselves don't get heard. And those that don't speak up for themselves get left behind. And those that don't speak up for themselves are the mentally handicapped, the handicapped, and some of the elderly. I've seen images of people sleeping on piss-covered and crap-covered sidewalks that really couldn't defend themselves. And no one's really there to defend them as well. And I don't know what to do about that. So all I can tell you is this is a hardcore place. It's probably the toughest thing I've ever had to do is walk these streets, see and feel and live the hurt. Can't explain it. It's something that I'm not used to. It's something that I don't want to be used to. We just can't keep stepping over people. We just can't keep walking by them. We just can't keep turning our head. We can't just keep our mouths closed. Someone has to speak up.
Even though my stay was temporary, even though I got to leave, that environment truly transformed me into a monster. It made me feel like I wasn't human. Made me feel bad about myself and made me feel worthless.
I am forever changed. After breathing, smelling, tasting, and living on these streets, I will never again just walk on by.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious still that grace appeared. The hour I first beheld shining as the sun. We've now last days to sing God's praise. Then when we first begun. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.